Sometimes when it comes to these videos, I really don't have a plot. I just feel called to get in front of the camera and start speaking and start portraying how it is that I feel, because I think that with the emotions and the thoughts and everything it is that I have going through my mind, if I'm able to articulate how I'm feeling, then I feel as if somebody out there will be able to relate and hopefully find it as some sort of emotion or some sort of ability to relate to my emotions, and some sort of motivation to keep them going. Because I think often we have these thoughts and these emotions and these feelings, and we think that maybe no one can relate to them and no one can understand them, so we keep them inside of us, and I'm one of those people. I'm very guilty of that myself, especially as of recently. I feel I'm having a really hard time relating to people, and I'm feeling a shift in my life. I feel as if I'm losing friends. I feel as if I'm losing family. And maybe not losing isn't the right word, but it's just the ability to relate to these people, and these people having the complete inability to relate to me. I think I'm kind of one of those people. I very much see myself as an empath. I'm very much, one of those people that feels as if I can relate to everybody and I can understand everybody, but not everyone can understand me. So by making these videos, I think it's helpful for me to vent and to get it out, because sometimes I feel like I don't have people that can understand where I'm coming from. It's helpful to understand that sometimes people watch these videos and then they can relate to it, or they tell me, they'll DM me and tell me like, what you posted, I was able to fully relate to, or I could understand where you're coming from, or whatever the case is. So it helps me, but also it helps me knowing that somebody can relate to it, but also I really hope that somebody watching this video, it helps you as well, because that's what all of this is about. Everything it is that I do is for the greater good of everybody else and not myself. Truly, everything it is I do is for everybody else. All the success that I want to have, all the work that I put in, it's so that I can give it back and give it away. None of this is for me. I was even telling my girlfriend the other day, and we're expecting our child. I was like, everything it is that I do is for you guys. When I take her out on dates, I take her on dates for her. I don't care to have those types of experiences. I've built such a happy internal dialogue and life within myself that I could truthfully, for the rest of my life, live comfortably knowing that all I do every day is work out, make content, go to the gym. Those are the things that I love. I don't care to go out. I don't care to have these experiences, and maybe this will change over time, but as of right now, I genuinely don't care about that stuff. I've never cared to have that stuff. If you guys understood where it is that I come from, everything it is that I have right now around me is more than I ever could have imagined growing up. And it bothers me sometimes because I get so ungrateful because I feel like I don't have enough or I'm not doing enough. But I have everything, something as simple as a couch like this. Growing up, we didn't have nice furniture. Growing up, I'm looking right in front of a 75-inch flat screen. I have a Christmas tree. At no point in my life growing up throughout my childhood did I have a freaking Christmas tree with gifts under it. Like, I have everything right now that more than I could have ever imagined in this apartment right now. I know that I'm just ranting, but like I said, hopefully that as I kind of spill these emotions and I give you guys real raw content, I hope that somebody can relate to it. I'm not sad at all. I just woke up, so maybe I might sound like I'm like sad or something like that, but I'm not sad. I'm not depressed. There's nothing to worry about. This week has been a really hard week for me, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, everything. It's just kind of been one of those weeks where, you have your self-doubt. You're just negative towards yourself. You just have that voice in the back of your head that's just telling you, like, what if you don't make it? What if you fail? What if all this is for nothing? Like, occasionally, I think we all have those thoughts. And I think that sometimes people will just naturally imagine that I don't have those thoughts. Like, that I'm just this 110% motivated person all the freaking time. I will say I think I'm a lot more motivated than the average person, but periodically I have these thoughts just like anybody else. And this week has been one of them for sure. Like, I'm telling you, I don't even like saying it because I feel like when you say things, you give it power. But if I'm just being real raw, I'm being honest in front of this camera right now, this week, like, I've had the worst thoughts. I've had no motivation. And partially due to it, I guess I should have led with this, is I've been sick. So I don't know, I don't think I sound sick, but maybe I sound stuffy. You know that feeling like when you feel like you're about to get sick, so your body is just weak and you're tired and you're exhausted? That's kind of how I felt on Tuesday. I was going to go work out after I got my haircut, my day off. And I was sitting in that barber chair and I'm like, bro, I am so tired right now. There is no possible way that I could go hit a workout. I was exhausted. Like, it's funny because I have my Garmin now. I made a video a while back talking about the benefits of having a Garmin versus an Apple Watch. But anyways, the Garmin app, or the Garmin watch, comes with an app called Garmin Connect. And it gives you, your stats for the day. So, like, for example, I had it gives you, like, your training readiness, and then it gives you your body battery, right? So I remember I woke up that night thinking I had slept pretty decent. I thought I slept like 8.5 hours. Turns out I slept like 6 hours. My body battery, this is after waking up from sleeping, my body battery was at like an 11%. This is after waking up. So I saw that and I was like, nah, hell no, ain't no way I can do it today. And then my training readiness was at like a 13%. So I was going through it for sure. I felt really, really just weak, lethargic, just not myself. So I took Tuesday off, and that carried over into Wednesday. Wednesday felt like shit still, so I took another day off from work and from, working out. If you guys know me, like, if I take a day off from work, that means like hell froze over, like something's off for sure. I love what I do. I love working. I love, spending time with clients. I love making money. I love the hustle, the grind. I love it all. So for me to take 2 days off in a row, something I probably only do a couple times a year for something like maybe my birthday or not even Christmas, I was feeling pretty sick. And so I say all that to say, with me not feeling good, that definitely had a contribution to my mental stability and how it is that I'm feeling this week. I notice when you're a person that is, I hope you guys don't mind me just ranting and going off. But when you're a person that is, I guess, very in tune with their body, you notice, you can right away notice the effects of how exercise makes you feel mentally and spiritually when you don't stick to your schedule and your plan. So, for example, like, there's a direct link to, exercise and your dopamine receptors and, how it is that you feel mentally, how your confidence throughout the day, stuff like that. So when you're a person that typically exercises and then you don't, you notice those things right away. So for me, one of the biggest reasons why I exercise, or honestly not one of the biggest reason why I exercise, is for my mental health. Giving myself that delayed gratification, that actual real dopamine. I'm not seeking dopamine through worldly pleasures like, stimulants like food, or through caffeine, or through drugs and alcohol, or through women, through my lust, through porn, those kinds of things. When you fall into those traps of, needing instant gratification all the time and instant stimulation, that gives you, anxiety, depression, makes you lethargic. It just makes you feel so weak. So for me, my whole, narrative and my whole idea is, through exercise, I'm seeking delayed gratification. So the same feelings that, sex, food, stimulants, all those things will give you, I can receive through delayed gratification, but first you do something to earn that feeling. If I were to just hit a joint, hit a blunt, I'm not doing anything to have worked for that feeling. When I go for a run, when I get a good pump at the gym, I'm doing something to have worked for that same feeling, so that dopamine, that real dopamine, sunlight, exercise, those things actually mean something to a person and make you feel good. So I say all that to say I went a couple days without it. Mind you, I exercised on Monday, took Tuesday, Wednesday off, but then I had rested my body Saturday and Sunday as well. So within a 5-day span, somebody who would have usually moved their body 4 times in 5 days, I felt pretty bad, and I'm still trying to recover, try to be on the up and up from that. So just all of that contributed to, more self-doubt. I don't want to say self-hatred, but maybe self-pity. It gives you a lot more time to think. And when you have more time to think, if you're not careful, your mind will start playing tricks on you, making you relive old memories, making you just live in the past or live in the future. Anxiety comes from living in the future. Depression comes from living in the past. And throughout these past couple days, I've definitely been doing both, which is contributed, tremendously to my mental state at the moment. Constantly just thinking about situations in my past, like, what if I would have done this better, or what if I could have done this better, or what if I would have, turned right instead of went left, or what if I would have went up instead of went down. And it just gave me a lot of time to reflect on stuff that I shouldn't be reflecting on, and thinking about things that I shouldn't be thinking about for the sake of what? You know what I'm saying? It's things that I can't change. It's stuff that things happen in the past and you can't change them. But, we ponder on these things and we think about just what if. And that what if allows space for you to be critical of yourself. And something that I'm trying to remind myself throughout these past couple days is, forgive yourself for not knowing what you know now. And that's big for me because the stuff that I've had on my mind, primarily are, people that have hurt me in my past, but also people that I've hurt in my past. And both situations come from me not knowing what I know now. And I just think, like, if only I would have done this, or if only I would have done this, like, maybe things would have been different. Or, when that depression starts to kick in, you start to think, instead of things being different, could they have been better than where I'm at now? And that's when your mind really starts to play tricks on you. That's when your mind really starts to fuck with you. Because when you start to get into that mind state, now you're not only not being present, but you're also living out an imaginary life and comparing it to the one that you have now, as if what you have now isn't enough. And that's a very dangerous place to be. And if you don't catch that in the moment, if you don't catch those thoughts in the moment and redirect them, you can live in that scary space for some time. And I've definitely been living in that space for a little while now, a couple days, just being hard on myself, which I'm not proud of, but dang, I have a haircut appointment coming up. I gotta hurry up with this video. I'm just venting, man, and again, I don't even know where I'm going with this video. I genuinely just need to get all this out, and I hope that, I don't even know if I'm gonna post this, but if I do post it, I hope that somebody can understand and relate to it. Backtracking a little bit, I said that, living in the future is anxiety, and living in the past is depression. And like I mentioned, I've definitely been living in the past these past couple days, and living in the future as well, which I'm also not proud of, and I'm not happy that I've been doing. I'm constantly, like, it keeps me up at night contemplating it and trying to strategize and, think about the next thing, and which is good. It's good to have, a productive mindset and a productive mind state where you want to, constantly progress. But when you start getting in your head how I've been, and you start thinking, like, what if things don't work out? What if all this is for nothing? What if I fail? What if I'm just going to be a shell of myself? What if this? What if that? What if this? It can be a very dangerous place again, because in my personal opinion, you're, I guess not really much of an opinion, but you're pretty much, you're living out these scenarios that haven't happened, or, they've yet to happen, or probably never will happen. But what you guys don't understand, and what I didn't understand until the past 2 years or so, when I really started to understand my own triggers and understand my own anxiety, is your brain doesn't know the difference between sometimes actually physically experiencing something versus mentally experiencing it. And what I mean by that is, you'll live out these scenarios in your head that have yet to happen, and put yourself through these traumatic what if scenarios as if they're happening, and you're living in this space, imagining these things, causing yourself the pain. So it's like, even if these things were to happen in the future, which you don't know, not only are you experiencing them now, but you're going to have to experience them again in the future. So you're putting yourself through these things 2, 3, 4, 5, however many times you're imagining it, you're putting yourself through it that many times. Even if it were to happen, you only have to experience that thing one time. Chances are, the things that we're imagining in our head are things that will never come to be. They're just, our subconscious mind, or our us being scared, our fear, our anxiety, trying to, live out these scenarios in our head for the sake of keeping us, where it is that we are, keeping us stagnant, keeping us from taking that risk, keeping us from, from doing that thing, whatever that thing is for you. That's different upon everybody. But that's where I've been these past couple days. And I understand that it's just a funk. And for anybody that's watching this video, I want you guys to also understand, like, having these thoughts, having intrusive thoughts, having these negative thoughts that we don't want, understand that these thoughts don't make you who you are. Recognize them for what they are, which is just thoughts. Try to ground yourself, remind yourself, like, I'm imagining these things, but what the reality of the scenario is what's happening right now. There's only one moment that ever exist and will forever exist, is this moment right now. 10 minutes ago, me talking to this camera versus, an hour from now when I'm going to be sitting in a barber chair getting my hair cut. Like, neither of those moments exist anymore. The only moment that exists is what it is that I'm doing right now, sitting on this couch, talking to this camera. That is the only moment. And if you can ground yourself like that, it kind of brings you back to reality and gets you out of that mind state. But you got to catch it. That's the thing, is you have to start making yourself aware of it, and you got to catch it as it's going, because if not, you're going to go down that rabbit hole and you're going to spend, hours there, days there. It's kind of like TikTok. I'll use TikTok as an example. Like, you'd be like, all right, I'm going to check the clock. I'm going to scroll on TikTok for 5 minutes, and you get to scrolling. And because you're not aware of the time, 30 minutes go by, 1 hour goes by, 2 hours go by, and you've been glued to this phone for, hours at a time. It's the same things with these ideas and these thoughts that we have, these negative thoughts, these intrusive thoughts. You just go down this rabbit hole, and time flies, and you become stuck in this place that doesn't even exist. Another thing that I just want to get out before I end this video, because I do have to do something with my life and make some breakfast and go to this haircut appointment, but I feel as if there's a shift happening in my life where I'm kind of like, a lot of people aren't able to relate to me, and it's a frustrating shift, it's a scary shift, but I also do understand that it's a necessary shift. And I also do understand that as we become better in life, and as we start to move differently, as we start to expect more from ourselves, and we want to surround ourselves with a certain type of environment, naturally this is going to occur. So I'm constantly reminding myself that, this is normal. This means that you're on the right track. This means that you're headed in the right direction, because things are changing. I'm having a hard time, like, relating to people in a way, because majority of people are just comfortable, and they're not willing to do what's asked of them to take that next step. So when you are willing to do what's asked of you to take that next step, that next direction in your life, normally you're going to lose people. You're going to lose friends, you're going to lose family, you're going to lose boyfriends, girlfriends, any of those things. And I got back to thinking, in every single every single intimate relationship that I've ever been in, I felt this shift. And I'm not talking about the current relationship I'm in right now, but I'm just saying, every single relationship in my past that I've been in, I felt a shift similar to this, where it's like slowly, I feel as I'm taking the next steps to be the right version of myself and the next better version of myself, people will begin to be more critical of you. People will begin to be more judgmental of you. People will begin to be more envious of you. And that's not a bad thing. So if any of you guys find yourself in the exact same emotional state, understand that if you're losing people, it's probably for the best, and it's because you're taking the next right steps to become the next version of yourself. And not only are you going to lose people, but you're going to gain and meet so many other people. you know, as you continue and taking the steps into being the version of yourself it is that you want to be, you're going to meet better people. You're going to find better girlfriends, better boyfriends, better friends. You're going to find better family, you know, all these kinds of things. So I just encourage whoever's watching this video to don't be afraid, to don't allow, how do I say this? Don't allow your loneliness to cause desperation. Embrace this season of being more lonely. Embrace this season of feeling more isolated. Embrace this season of people judging you, of people being envious to you, maybe people pushing you out of their lives. Embrace all that, because if you're doing what's asked of you to be the next best version of yourself, this is going to naturally occur. And throughout this time, you're really going to see who it is that is your true supporter, a true friend, true family member. You're going to really see who it is that wants you to be successful for you versus who wants you to be successful for the sake of their relationship with you. And what I mean by that is, as I've matured and as I've gotten older, I've really been able to understand the difference between a person that loves me unconditionally versus a person that loves me for the sake of what I can do for them. And when you can understand the difference, especially you men out there, bro, you're being taken advantage of by so many of these women. Like, be with a woman that fucking loves you for who you are, not for what it is that you can fucking do for them. Obviously, you have to offer something in a relationship, offer some sort of value. So if you're a piece of shit and like if you don't have a job, you don't freaking work out, you don't get your hair cut, like you're just a slob of a man, of course, bro, like of course she's not going to love you for you. Or even if you guys have been together and you stop taking care of yourself, of course she's not going to love you for you, because that's like, she's not your mom, you know what I'm saying? But truthfully, like, be with somebody that is in awe of you for you doing the most simplest things. And don't be with nobody that, again, especially you males out there, bro, don't be with anybody that you have to prove yourself to. Like, I made that mistake in my past relationships. Fuck that. I'll never do that again. Don't be with somebody that you feel like doesn't appreciate you. You can't change people's perception of you. So by you doing more for this person, in my last relationship, I thought that the more that I did for this person, the more that they would love me. I was like, all right, well, maybe if I do this, or maybe if I try this, or maybe if I do this, like, eventually they'll see my worth. Fuck that shit. Like, truthfully, fuck that. That is hell right there. Don't be in a relationship with nobody where you feel like you have to constantly prove your self-worth. Be with somebody that appreciates you for the way that you walk, the way that you laugh, the love it is that you have to offer. Choose that girl, choose that guy, because that's what's most important. And anybody else that doesn't see that value in you, and anybody else that isn't willing to accept those flaws that you may have, or the way that you love, fuck them. Truthfully, fuck them. Like, be with somebody new. Go find you a new person, because that's a waste of your time trying to prove your self-worth to somebody. You got too much to worry about, man. Life is too damn stressful for you to be sitting here stressing about some shit like that. But yeah, I really do have to put this camera up, and I really do have to go, man. I don't even know where I was going with this video. Like I said, I think I just needed to get all this out and vent, and hopefully somebody can relate to it, and hopefully somebody can appreciate it. But I don't even know if I'm going to post this video. If I do post this video, if you stayed and if you watched this whole thing and you found some sort of value to it and some sort of relatability, please give it a like. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. This is my goal. I really do want to make it. I want to be like a YouTuber. I want to be like an influencer, but I want to do these things for the sake of bettering other people. I don't I'm not in this for the fame. I'm not in this because I want attention. I'm in this because the shit that I've been through, I understand that I have a story, and I understand that I could help people every single day. I help people in person, and people tell me all the time, like, I'm not even trying to flex right now, but I cannot tell you how many people have told me that I've saved their life through the things it is that I have to say, whether that be in person. I've had multiple people who have been, suicidal, who have come to me. I don't even know if I could say that on YouTube, who have come to me and told me, like, I was able to pull them out of this dark hole. I've had people on Instagram that have told me so many things about their personal lives and how even just my simple posts have helped them. I've went back and forth with people, DMing people about their mental health and, where it is that they are. And I've helped so many people. And my point in saying all that is not to flex. My point in saying all that is hopefully I can, transmute that energy from in-person clients and in-person conversations and social media conversations to my YouTube. And I hope that I can be given a large enough platform through social media to inspire and to help more people deal with the things that I've dealt with, or, try to find a way to help them love themselves. Because I understand what it feels like to look in the mirror and be unhappy with yourself. I understand what it feels like to feel alone, to feel isolated. I understand what it feels like to have parents that are addicted to drugs and alcohol. I understand what it feels like to lose people to cancer. I understand what it feels like to lose people to again, I don't know if I can say it, but often themselves. Like, I've been through so much, and I just want to help people. That's my testimony. And I hope that with my testimony, I could help some other people as well. But that is it, man. I hope you guys have a great day, and I am out of here.